Hello. On today's episode, I am going to be sharing a message that I have shared with myself countless times throughout the years, and I continue to share with myself. And I'm going to share with you guys today because I think it's an important message, and that is that feeling behind, feeling lost, specifically in your 20s, in your 30s, is very normal. And I actually think that it goes beyond your 30s. I think it's very common throughout life to feel as though your peers or people around you have certain experiences that are superior to yours, or that they have it figured out and you do not. Or you're in this stage where maybe you're feeling like you have to start over, or you're scared of losing something because that means that you're going to have to start over. And I think that no matter what it is, whether you're starting over in love, in friendship, in career, in location, in health, in mindset, in identity, whatever it is that you have to kind of start over. Maybe it's a mix of everything, which was definitely the case for me. I've continuously come back to this reminder that it's better to take your time. It's better to exit a situation that isn't aligned anymore and start anew, slowly but surely, and therefore aligning to exactly where you're meant to go and grow along the process. And dare I say, have fun along the process. It can feel incredibly frustrating at times when you have to start over, when things aren't perfect, when things aren't as great as you think they could be, or as great as you maybe remembered them to be, when you're in this comfortable place, this mundane place. The truth is, it's better to be in the uncomfortable and unknown than in the comfortable that you know is not right. Starting over is incredibly humbling, and it's also beautiful, and falling from that big tower that was your life, was all that you had ever built, is the beginning of a new story, walking from a new location. Sure, maybe it looks like the bottom right now because you just left the top, but you have no idea where you're headed. You have no idea. With the other one, you knew where you were headed and you didn't like it. You didn't even like fully where you were. And it's okay to feel uncomfortable and stuck and sad. It's okay. I know it doesn't feel okay. I know it hurts. I know it's uncomfortable. But you're not alone. You're supported and you're loved and you're grounded, and eventually you'll reach a new tower, top of the tower, and maybe you'll decide it's still not right for you and you'll fall again. And that's life. don't think that you're so far behind, because you're not. It's really better to build a life that is in alignment to you than to rush to build a life that looks good on paper, that people can politely nod and understand when you have to explain what your job is, when you have to explain your social status, where you have to explain where you're living, the city that you live in, the house that you live in, the apartment, the whatever it is, who you live with. You also don't owe people the explanation that I think you think that you owe them. You don't. So what if they're confused? So what if they don't know every detail about your life? If they're confused, they don't need to know. You don't need to explain it to them. You don't owe them an explanation. Especially because most of these people are strangers, right? Because the people that you truly, truly love and that truly care about you, no matter what, they're not judging you. They just want the truth. And what's meant for you is truly coming to you. So if there's not something in your life right now that you really, really want, don't try to rush that process. Don't try to force that process. I see you. I feel you. I understand you. I hear you. I'm speaking to you, which is myself, from years ago, from months ago, from moments ago. I'm in this revolving cycle of this. I fell from a really high tower a few years ago, and I've been walking up another tower, or several towers. I don't even know if to call it a tower. I'm kind of just walking aimlessly, if I'm being honest. Almost a little scared to walk up another tower because of how painful it is when you fall. And you always fall. And I think that's something I need to work on. And I think that I am working on it. I have started building things. Maybe what I'm really referring to here is moving and, where I live. Because when I fell from grace, let's call it, it wasn't very graceful where I was, and it definitely wasn't a graceful fall. One of the biggest things that I lost or threw away were a lot of friendships. And I've slowly rebuilt that back into my life. Some old, some new. I also lost and got rid of romance. I'm working on it. We'll see. I'm open to it. I think for a very long time I was so against it and closed off, and that was the tower that I was on. Like, I knew what my life was going to look like and who I was and what the answers were when it came to love and romance. And I think a part of being where I am now is kind of realizing that maybe those views were wrong. Not wrong because what is right or wrong, but they're different. And that's cool. Career. I threw away a career that I thought was very bad for me, very toxic, and maybe at the time it truly was. And now I've rebuilt into another career. And I've started doing this too. Podcast and more artistic pursuits outside of corporate career. And it's good. It's stable. It's fun. My identity, I've been rebuilding that for a while, slowly but surely, and it feels very aligned to who I am. who I really truly am. And then there's where I'm living. I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. And that's cool. You know, I'm not behind because I don't have an apartment of my own. I'm not behind because I'm not engaged. I'm not behind because I'm not married. I'm not behind because I don't have a doctorate. I'm not behind because I haven't written a book. I'm not behind. I'm not behind. I am so ahead of where I was a few years ago when I was up on a tower, living a life that maybe looked great on paper, but wasn't aligned to me. I am so beyond. I have surpassed that person. If life is a marathon, I'm way in front of that one. Don't know where that analogy came from. Analogy, metaphor, I don't even know. I don't know where that came from, but if life is a race, I'm beating my old self. I'm just ahead. I'm not even beating them. I'm just ahead. I've progressed. I've changed. I've evolved. And maybe it's okay to slowly take steps forward and be conscious and soft and kind to yourself, that you're maybe not all that you're going to be in your entire life. I don't have babies. I don't have my dream apartment. I don't have it all figured out. I'm not hosting dinner parties with all of my best friends. I'm not planning a wedding. I'm not literally running a marathon. I'm not in the best shape of my life. And how cool is that? There's so much to do. There's so much to do. There's so much to learn. There's so much to grow. There's so much to get done. How boring would it be if you had everything done right now? You're not behind. You're not behind. Because then that would mean I'm behind. And I don't feel behind. This is higher me talking to you, Danny, of lower thoughts, negative thoughts. I hope this is making sense to you all. It's making sense to me. And this is all a letter to me with the hope that it reaches other people as well. Because that's really what I want to do. I want to make people feel better. I really do. I want to make you feel good, and I want to make you feel not alone, because you're not alone. And I just think back to myself when I felt most alone, and how maybe this space in the internet, this video, this podcast could find me and bring me some comfort and sense of companionship, understanding, support, love. You're not alone, and you're definitely not behind. Just the fact that you're here and you're listening to this is a sign that you're focusing on your peace and your stability and yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself, and don't ever compare yourself to other people, as hard as that is. With social media, like, come on. Are we meant to be able to compare ourselves to this many people all over the world? I don't know. What does it mean to mean? Like, are we meant to? It's just, what does it matter? We are. Maybe biologically, it's wild. It's wreaking havoc on our systems. It is. So I guess just being conscious of the fact that comparing yourself to other people it's a sin. I know that word has some religious connotations. For me, it's just like, it just means it's unnecessary. It's bad. It's literally does not equate, does not mathematically make any sense. You are not You are not the same person. You do not have the same opportunities. Yes, we all have the same hours in a day. You can absolutely push yourself and pick yourself up and do things because, like, yes, if they have it, you could too. And at the same time, that doesn't mean that you're less than because you don't have that at all. You are you. You're a completely different person with different life experiences. And if you see something that someone else has and you want it, if it makes you angry, it makes you jealous, it makes you, shall I say, inspired? Shall I say moved instead of those words that we carry negative weight to, then start taking slow, conscious steps in that direction. Not anxious, fast ones, trying to speed it up or living in your thoughts and thinking, I'll never get there. Oh, if I had just stayed on my other path, I would have been closer to that. If I hadn't broken up with that ex-boyfriend who was clearly not right for you because you were not in love with him. If I had just stayed with him, maybe I'd be married right now. Maybe I could have posted that on Instagram too. Maybe I would be pregnant. Maybe I'd be planning a wedding. Maybe I'd have my own apartment with them. I'm kind of projecting here. It's like, yes, sure, you can think all of those things, but you didn't want that life. You knew it then. So this is my reminder to you now. You didn't want that life, and that's okay. What's ahead for you in your life is so much more beautiful than you could ever imagine. It really is. I can't imagine it. You're so not alone. The amount of times I've had this conversation. It seems like everyone kind of feels behind. Okay. Sending you love, kindness, forgiveness, patience. Forgive yourself more than anything, always. I think I'm going to start just ending these podcast episodes by always saying forgive yourself. Just forgive yourself for what you did in the past. It happened for a reason. You're not committed to making that same decision over and over and over. You're not tarnished forever. You're not broken forever. Your story isn't over. It's just beginning. The rest is still unwritten. Okay? Go give Natasha Bedingfield a listen. Mwah.